Alright, let's continue with Fire on the Water. Going through the actions that I took in that failed video where I failed to record my audio, and perhaps making some new ones again depending on whether I actually ended up killing myself or not. During the break, while I gave my throat a chance to recover, I pulled up an actual map, because it'll help explain why I made the decisions I made here in this choice. And by the way, I noticed in my whole process of pulling up the map that I'm supposed to enter the map on my special items list. Why didn't anyone tell me? It's the map. Silly me. I might have to reorganize those in the future. So, let's see. A fork in the road, there's no signpost. So I looked at this and I was thinking, if I'm going from Gorn Cove, and I reach this fork, taking the left branch would take me to Port Bax, and taking the right branch leads me down here. I don't know if that's the actual logic that you're supposed to make, but I ended up choosing the left fork. The road follows a course along a high grassy ridge. Hold on. Sorry about that, what happened there was unfortuitous. Make sure my sound's working because I had to pause the video, and we're off to the races. The road follows a course along a high grassy ridge for many miles before turning northwards to the coast. You pass a village where the houses curve in a circle around a large pond of stagnant water. As you ride through, a gaggle of Zal children come running towards you, shouting and throwing stones. You descend into the deep valley beyond, and gradually the moor gives way to richer land that has been cleared and plowed. Hillside opposite is heavily wooded. You are not far from the coast, and you can see the tall cliffs with their multicolored bands of rock jutting out into the ocean. Excuse me. Then, just as you are passing through a small copse, you hear desperate cries for help off to your right. Well, we are a Kai Lord, and despite the urgency of our mission, it would be rude of us to not actually stop to help. So my decision here was aiding the people in trouble. You spur your horse through the tangle of trees until you enter a small clearing. 6 Zals are jumping excitedly around the writhing body of a man on the ground. A strangely carved spear is stuck in his chest, and lying dead beside him is the body of a knight of the White Mountain. The creatures are shrieking at each other and appear to be unconcerned with the man's obvious agony. Now, what I chose here is, I have the Kai discipline of healing, so I would like to help in this situation, so let's go ahead and help, You try to apply your hands to the injured man's chest, but the Zals are pulling at your cloak and trying to drag you away. But we have the Kai discipline of camouflage. During the period of your Kai training, your masters taught you many of the languages and dialects of Northern Magnamund, one of which was Zal. The creatures in this clearing are Zals, and they are screaming at you that the wounded man is not a man at all. They say he is a Helghast, a powerful, shape-changing servant of the Dark Lords. If you believe that they are telling the truth, check what the man has in his pack. If you suspect that the Zals are lying to stop you interfering with their spiteful game, fend them off with your weapon by turning to 28. Now, I remember the whole spear thing. It had like some weird edges and shit, like it's a fucking magical spear. And given what I know about Knights of the White Mountain, I figure maybe they fought each other instead of, the Zals. In worst case, these all seem wimpy enough, like if they try to attack me while I'm checking the pack. I mean, they could have done that anyway, because it's not like I could have fucking hidden myself from them while I'm trying to heal the man. So, let's say, okay, what the hell. We'll try to check the pack. You search in his pack, and are horrified to find that it contains a scroll of human skin upon which a message has been written in a strange runic script. The only word that you can make out is Kai. You also find an evil-looking dagger with a black blade and a block of cold obsidian. These don't appear to be any items I can take, but I'm fucking keeping the Dark Lord blade. Fuck you. These items bear the signs of the Dark Lord's craft. Something is very wrong here. You drop the pack as quickly as if it were red hot and turn to mount your horse. To your dismay, you find it is no longer there. The Zals must have stolen it. Warily, you realize you will now have to continue your journey on foot. It's a shame I can't take, like, the fucking spear. I don't know. These guys seem, like, super powerful. Might have been useful to have, like, an item. I only have one weapon. It's a fucking dagger, okay? That spear with some, like, weird fucking etchings on it. Maybe I would have had an opportunity to take it if I'd chosen to handle the situation differently. Maybe I would have been killed there after fucking healing the Helghast. Who knows? But I did survive the situation, so let's continue. You have been walking for nearly 2 hours when you reach the peak of a hill and see the Dornor forest stretched out before you. The road bears eastwards and enters the trees at a point where a large wooden tower has been built. You can see the silhouette of a soldier on guard. Well, I have the seal of Hammerdal, and I would kind of, like to confront the damn guy, so let's go ahead and do that. You are less than 20 yards from the tower when the guard steps forward and demands to know your business. You notice that the soldier is wearing the red coat of a Durnese man-at-arms, and realize that you have reached the border of Durnor. You need to find some way of getting past him. Let's use the kindest one to 6 cents. You can sense that this guard is a loyal Durnese soldier. If you were to attempt to bribe him, he would be likely to consider it a grave insult and attack you. Well, I wish to show him the seal of Hammerdal, then, if he's a loyal Durnese soldier. The guard stares at the magnificent ring in awe. The legend of the seal of Hammerdal is well known to the people of Durnor. It is said that of all the lost treasures of the Durnese, the seal of Hammerdal is one that they would not wish returned. The guard's anxious face shows he clearly recognizes the ring's dreadful significance. I will not hinder your urgent mission, but I cannot help you, except to set you on the road for Port Bax. Continue on this forest path, and you will come to a fork near a stunted oak tree. Take the left track. It is the quickest way. You thank the loyal guard and push on once more into the forest. A mile or so along the road, you come to the fork and take the left track. It leads to a stone bridge across the Rime Rift. The waters of the Rime Rift are over 1 mile deep and up to 2 miles at its widest point. Thankfully, we didn't have to ford the river. Near to the bridge, you find a signpost. Port Bax, 3 miles. You breathe a sigh of relief, for you should arrive there in under an hour. At dusk on the 10th day of your quest, you experience your first sight of the magnificent city of Port Bax. Like a diamond set in the green velvet shore, the towers of the city glimmer in the pale light of a waxing moon. To the north is the harbor and the formidable war fleet of the Durnese navy. To the east, beyond the moss-covered city wall, stretches the forest of Durnor. And there, on the crest of a hill, stands its set castle, tall and proud, the crowning glory of this beautiful port. You enter Port Bax through an unguarded gate in the green city wall, and make your way through the darkening... Got distracted there. Woohoo! You make your way through the darkening streets towards the harbor. As you turn into a tree-lined avenue, you notice the wide stone steps of a domed building to your right. You stop to read the brass plaque. City Hall. Despite the late hour, the main doors are open. Well, we have the kindest one of tracking, so let's go ahead and use that. You try to remember some of the stories told to you by an old Kai master called Wise Hawk. He was envoy to Port Bax for many years, and he knew and loved the city as well as any native Durnese. You recall him saying that the consulate overlooked Allen Square in the naval quadrant of the city. There is a sign to your left pointing along the avenue. Naval Quadrant, half mile. Certain this is the right direction, you walk confidently along the tree-lined avenue. At the end of the avenue, the cobbled street turns abruptly to the right. Opposite this post is a tall white stone building with a plaque above the door. Port Watchtower, Harbor Authority. You can see that the cobbled street ends at a high stone wall. There is a large red gate in this wall and is guarded by 2 soldiers. Beyond the gate you can make out the masts of ships moored in the harbor. Let's go ahead and approach the red gate. I wanted to do that. I did that because, you know, I have the seal of Hammerdal. These guys are soldiers. Maybe I can use it on them. One of the guards steps forward and demands to see your pass. We don't have a white pass or a red pass, so let's turn away. You are slowly walking back along the cobbled street, trying to think of the best course of action, when a young boy approaches you. I can get you into the harbor, mister, he says, but it'll cost you. He produces an envelope containing a sheaf of official-looking papers. These'll get you a red pass at the Port Watchtower, all yours for only 6 gold crowns. If you wish to buy the documents, pay the boy 6 gold crowns. If you refuse them, he will soon lose interest in you and will disappear. When you have made your decision, you return to the Port Watchtower. Note this footnote. If you do not have 6 gold crowns, the boy will sell the papers to you for however many you have, including 0 crowns. These papers need not be marked on your action chart, and thus do not require a backpack to carry them in. Without these papers, it would be possible to wander endlessly in Port Bax. I bought the papers because of that warning. So, let's go ahead and enter them. They need not be marked on your action chart. They don't require a backpack item. But I bought them. I bought the papers. And let's go ahead and enter. And it says a red pass, so let's enter. And then head to the door marked red passes. You're standing in a large empty hall, opposite are 2 doors. You enter a large room full of ledgers and files. A man wearing the uniform of a Durnese naval officer is seated opposite a large desk. He peers at you inquisitively from behind a huge book and says, "You must have pressing business in the naval quadrant to apply for a red pass at this late hour. I shall need to see your access papers, and proof of your commanding officer's authorization. If you do not have the documents he requires, or do not wish to show them to him, you will have to risk showing him the seal of Hammerdal if you possess it. Or, if you've collected the necessary documents on your quest, or if you do not have either the seal or the documents, leave the room and return to the outer hall." Okay, this is actually where I stopped the recording, because this was a pivotal decision. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted to do. I wanted to take some time to think about it. And I've had a bunch of time to think about it, and I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do. So, I spent the money, the 6 gold crowns, to buy the documents that I can use here for a red pass. Problem: what if these get me killed? I think back to the footnote. The papers are needed so that you will not wander endlessly in port backs. Otherwise, it would be entirely 100% possible to do so. I guess especially, I didn't lose the seal of Hammerdal, but maybe you can. And if you can, that would be bad, I guess. Kinda need that, but I don't know how, and it's a good thing I never figured out, because I wouldn't want to. So you can lose the seal of Hammerdal. So, according to the footnote, which is kind of information which fucks with me, because it's like, that extraneous information that, like, messes with your head, the papers are important because otherwise you'd be stuck in an endless loop here. But from what I've learned of Lone Wolf, that doesn't mean that's a good thing. What if you're stuck in an endless loop, except for using these papers here, which are forgeries, the guy knows they're forgeries, you get fucking killed? What if that happens? Fucking guards, or maybe he's in... That's the other thing, too. What if he has the tattoo? What if he's in cahoots? What if I show him the seal of Hammerdal, he has the fucking serpent tattoo, he calls in a bunch of other dudes who have the serpent tattoo, and they fucking take me out? Well, then that gets to the whole conspiracy theory, like, that guy who escorted you to the castle, Flight from the Dark, or I think that was the name of the first book, the guy who escorted you on the way to the king's palace, do you think that he was working for the Dark Lords? I mean, who's working for the Dark Lords? How many people in high up, authority and position do they have? You don't know. All you know is what that footnote said, where it's possible to be stuck in an endless loop except for the papers. The papers could be your salvation. But it doesn't say anything about the seal. Would it be possible to be stuck in an endless loop if you didn't have the seal? Where does the seal play in? I'm gonna show him the seal of Hammerdal here. I lost 6 gold crowns. This could kill me. I like to think, though, that if he has the power to summon people, they wouldn't all necessarily be in cahoots. I could show them the seal, and then I would have, like, an opportunity to fight. I would like that opportunity anyway to, like, fucking fight. I don't want to get insta-killed. Come on. Throw me a freaking bone here. I think that footnote's what does it. The fact that you can buy it for even 0 gold crowns doesn't seem like it's a situation where it fucking rewards you. And so I guess in this situation, if you can somehow lose the seal of Hammerdal, if the forged documents end up killing you, losing the seal kills you. Which, seems fair. I don't know how you can lose the seal, and again, I don't want to figure it out. But, you kind of need that. It makes sense. So, in this situation, I'm going to go ahead and show the man the seal. If I die, by the way, I will be restarting from the first book. There's stuff there I haven't seen and I would like to explore. And I'm only on book 2, so it's not a big deal if I restart. No biggie. Let's do this. The man stares at the seal with a look of shocked dismay. Without saying a word, he gets up from his chair and beckons you to follow him up a flight of spiral stairs that lead to a domed chamber. Here, you meet the captain of the port watch. He listens intently as you tell of the war in Summerland and of your urgent mission. Issue a red pass immediately, he orders. Top priority. That's another thing, too. The red pass, that gets marked in your special items, but those papers that you bought for 6 gold crowns are not an item. Very suspicious. I'll leave it as a mystery for myself, though. What it is, it's a mystery. So red pass. Passage permit. You collect your red pass, leave the port watchtower, and hurry along the street towards the harbor guards. I have a red pass. The soldier salutes and allows you to pass through the red gate. You walk into an open square lit by the tall beacons lining the So many of you told me the pronunciation for this thing. I think like 3 or 4. And, Bayside, I think it was. I wasn't paying attention, because leave it to me to, like, read comments and go, just correcting me on something. I don't care. It's like people correcting me on my pronunciations of Chinese names. Whatever. Cow cow, cocoa pebbles, cocoa, sao sao, mojo jojo. It's not important. To your relief, you sight the marble pillars of the Summerland consulate and a familiar sun flag of your country flying above it in the fresh night breeze. As you climb the stone steps, you are recognized by the Sunlanding guards on duty at the main door. They disappear inside and quickly return in the company of a tall, grayed-haired official. His anguished expression suddenly changes to a smile of joy as he beholds your ragged Kai cloak and tunic. I'm still fucking wearing this? They didn't give me any new shit to wear? I'm fucking wearing the goddamn Kai cloak this entire fucking time. No wonder I fucking stand out with somebody who needs to be fucking slaughtered. Are you fucking kidding me? You couldn't give me any inconspicuous clothes. I thought they had given me inconspicuous clothes. I must have not been fucking paying attention. At the very least, you know, I figured they would have been ruined after I get fucking sunk into the damn sea. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, gee, I wonder where the Kai Lord is. My God, a green cloak and tunic. Surely that's the Kai Lord. Okay, if it's a symbol of the Kai Lords, and if people suddenly recognize you based upon the fact that you're fucking wearing it, that means that green must be a rare color, right? Because if it's a common color, that means that anyone can just impersonate a Kai Lord. Oh my God, he's wearing green, it's the Kai Lord. Which means, what if there's a bunch of people walking around in Ragatorn, and they have like green cloaks and tunics? Oh my God, he's wearing green, do you see him? I know who it is, it's a Kai Lord. I will assassinate him. How many people have been accidentally assassinated because they were presumed to be Kai Lords? No one knows. I'm good, guys, I'm good. Hope beyond hope, thank the gods that you live, Kai Lord. The scant news that has reached us from the west has caused us great alarm. You are ushered inside and taken immediately to the envoy Summerland, Lord Lieutenant Rygar. Your first meeting with the Lord Lieutenant comes as something of a shock. You had perhaps half expected him to be a servile old man. You had perhaps half expected, perhaps, maybe, kind of, sort of, potentially, possibly half expected, and to be a servile old man, as are the envoys of the sovereign lands that plague your king's court with their delegations. The man clad in heavy chainmail standing before you is neither old nor servile. You are soon to learn that Lord Lieutenant Rygar is an exceptional man. Born of a Sunlanding father and a Duranese mother, he has become something of a legend in this city. In the last decade, he has led an alliance of the nations to victory against the invading ice barbarians of Khalt. Wise in peace, fierce in war, you could not have wished for better company on your quest for the Summer Sword. The Sword of the Sun. Summer Sword. Sword of the Sun. Rygar orders that a sumptuous meal be served. It is by far the best food you have tasted since the war began. During the feast, you recall the events that have brought you to Port Bax, and reflect on the daunting challenge that still lies before you. After the meal, Rygar sends for his physician who attends to your wounds, but he finds none. His potions restore 6 endurance points, but you were at max. Then he advises you to sleep, for you are to leave with the Lord Lieutenant for Hammerdal in the morning. If you do not have a backpack, you may choose to assume here that you are outfitted with one by Rygar. How lovely! Early next day, you are taken to an enclosed garden at the rear of the consulate, where Rygar and 3 of his best soldiers await you on horseback. They are to be your bodyguard and guides on the 230-mile ride to Hammerdal. The streets of Port Bax are just beginning to come to life as you ride through the town, passing under the moss-covered city gate. You now feel confident that your mission will succeed. Random number table time. Oh, you feel confident that you will succeed, do you? Roll, bitch. 0. For 3 days and nights you have ridden along the highway as it follows its route up the river valley of the Duranon. In the distance are the peaks of the Hammerdal Mountains, one of the highest ranges in all Magnamund. The capital lies at the very center of those mountains. It is now morning on the 14th day of your quest. You have made camp near a waterfall where the fast-flowing Duranon drops over 120 feet. You are about to leave when a group of 6 hooded riders appears on the forest highway above, blocking your exit from the camp. Lord Lieutenant Rygar demands that they let you pass, adding that you bear a royal dispatch. In Duranor, it is treasonable offense to hinder a king's messenger, but unfortunately the cloaked riders do not seem impressed by his warning, and they remain where they are. If you do not care for reason, perhaps our swords will turn your tail, says Rygar. He draws a sword and orders his men to attack. We're totally using 6th sense. There is a strong aura of evil surrounding these cloaked riders. Your Kai sense warns you not to follow Rygar and his men on their impetuous charge. You shout a warning to them to stop them attacking, but it is too late. You cannot be heard above their battle cries and the thundering hooves of their mounts. Fuck. As Rygar and his men gallop nearer to the riders, one of the cloaked horsemen draws a black staff from beneath the robes. A fierce blue flame shoots from its tip and explodes beneath Rygar's horse, sending him head over heels into the dense undergrowth. Rygar's men furiously attack with their swords, their sharp... I've just considered the possibility that I'm mispronouncing this guy's name, and how it might have caused a few of you to cringe, and I no longer care. Their sharp blades slice clean through their enemies' cloaks and bodies, and then you realize that they are having no effect. For these are Helghast, fell captains of the Dark Lords. They have the ability to adopt human form, but they are invulnerable to normal weapons. The cloaked staff bearer gives a hideous laugh that tears at your mind. He is using a very powerful mind blast against you. I'm good. You know you are outnumbered by a superior enemy, and you must act quickly if you survive this ambush at all. Fuck it. You guys are fucked. Bye! You come to rest face downwards in a tangle of thick bracken. The ringing of steel and the horrible cries of the Helghast echo through the trees around you. You are stunned and cannot move until a hand grabs your arm and pulls you upright. It is Rygar. His face is bloodied, and his armor is battered and charred. You must flee these demons, lone wolf. If you've not already been told, the Helghast are the riders who attacked your party. Thank you. Strength and steel will not avail us here. You glimpse the silhouette of 6 Helghast on the forest road above. Their minds bent on the slaughter of Rygar's men, they fail to see you both slip away under cover of the wooded hillside. For 6 hours you run without rest. The Helghast are on the highway, and you are forced to make your way through the steep and wooded foothills to avoid the risk of capture. Many times you feel that you just cannot go on, that the pain and fatigue are too much to bear, but each time you falter, you are spurred on by Rygar. You marvel at his endurance, for he is not a young man, and he is clothed in the heavy armor of a sun-lending knight. By nightfall, you have reached the entrance to Tarnalin, the western tunnel through the Hammerdal Mountains. The 3 tunnels of Duranor were excavated during the age of the Black Moon, and each tunnel is over 40 miles long and passes through the huge circle of the Hammerdal range to the capital. The tunnels provide the only access to the city. Rygar sits beside you and takes some bread and meat from his pack. Eat this, lone wolf. You must sustain your strength for the journey to Hammerdal, for from here you must venture alone to the Tarnalin. I shall remain here and hold the enemy back for as long as I have the strength to fight. Do not argue that your mission should succeed is the only thing that matters. If Rygar is to hold off the Helghast, he will need a magic weapon, as his own sword is of no use against these creatures. See the erratum for this section for details of the gameplay changes made to this section. Note the results of the choices presented here are discussed. I don't possess a magic spear. You mean the one that was fucking put in the goddamn Helghast I left behind in that fucking glade? You mean the fucking magic spear that would have been fucking useful to me? The spear with goddamn runes and etched on it? Oh yeah, that would have been fucking useful. Pity I didn't grab that. Maybe if I had attempted to heal him, I would have figured out the fucking thing in the process. Damn it. So, I don't know whether I should look at the erratum or not. Maybe I can give him my fucking, my Dark Lord blade that I wasn't told to grab, but I did anyway. There are gameplay changes. So, there could have been changes, so maybe something's important. Let's take a look. Introduction. Errata. The game rules. Replace Kai Discipline section with Kai Discipline section. Rules for combat. Blah, 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 blah. What page is this? Shit, wrong thing. This is page 299. Blah, 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 blah. The original edition of this book. Later editions came out reversing these two choices. Both of these versions are very problematic to game flow and inspired a controversy among the members. Although never previously published, this scenario allows Lone Wolf to succeed despite giving the magic spear to Rygar. Oh. Under this version, it is impossible for Lone Wolf to succeed without taking the left path, ignoring the warning, and fighting the Helghast. This directly contradicts the statement in Kai Wisdom that a wise choice of disciplines enables you to succeed, regardless of your starting comics. Because I presume a Helghast is powerful, and I presume I would have had to fight him in order to get that magic sphere. Thankfully, okay, I see the errata thing. Apparently, in some version, you could not succeed if you gave this guy your fucking magic spear. Which is total bullshit, apparently. Which, I kind of agree with. So, I do not possess a magic spear. I love how there's two different options. And, I wish to give him a magic spear, or I do not possess one, and I don't. You bid Rygar farewell and enter Tarnalin, over 100 feet in height. Really? You wish to give him your magic spear, or if I do not possess one. Okay. Excuse me. Bid Rygar farewell and enter Tarnalin. Over 100 feet in height and width, the tunnel runs to the capital on the far side of the Hammerdal Range, and is lit by torches for its entire length. The highway through the mountain is usually alive with the traffic of merchants to and from Port Bax. Yet now the entrance and interior are deserted except for an overturned fruit wagon. As you walk deeper into the Tarnalin, a doubt nags at you. Have the Helghast arrived here first? Oh boy. You've been walking for half an hour when you see a strange creature on top of a wagon in the road ahead. It is 2 feet high and resembles an overgrown marsh rat. You assume it is some sort of tunnel-dwelling rodent until you notice that it is wearing a splendid jacket of patched leather and carrying what appears to be a spear. As you get near, it suddenly turns to face you. Its whiskered nose is sniffing the air and its bright black eyes are peering into the gloom. It sees you and scampers off into the darkness of a smaller tunnel to your left. I have learned not to pursue animals. I don't have any animal kinship, so Mind Shield is totally more important. So, let's ignore it and continue along our way. You have been walking along the deserted tunnel for a further half hour when the highway splits in two. Oh, blind choices. I love them. Let's enter the left tunnel. Ahead, you can see a passenger wagon similar in design to those that use the coast roads of Raggadorn. The horses have been cut free and it appears to be deserted. You notice the bodies of 3 soldiers lying beneath it. Their uniforms are heavily blood-stained. Even if I didn't have 6th sense, I'm pretty sure I'd fucking ignore this wagon anyway. Your sense warns you that the wagon contains an evil presence. Let's dash past the wagon and run for safety. You've just passed the wagon when you hear a noise behind you. Spinning around, you scan the walls and ceiling, but you can see nothing in the gloom of the tunnel. Oh boy! I'm dead, huh? I'm so fucking dead. I am reliving the horrors of Uninvited here, aren't I? That's what this is. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I know you guys won't be able to hear this that well, because I set my computer to record, I didn't set it to record system audio on my Camtasia Studio, so you guys won't get the full effect of this volume, but I think you'll be able to hear it. So we have Uninvited open. I played this before on my channel. Let's just randomly click on shit. Well, no. Suddenly, from out of the darkness, there is a blood-chilling cry. You find yourself staring into the glowing eyes of a Helghast. As it tries to close its fingers around your throat, you scream in terror and fall to the ground. The hideous creature tears at your tunic, rending the cloth of its black claws. First off, I am a white woman in a horror movie. Second off, under no circumstances do I want that, but it looks like he's suffering from a super deformed status because he has a big head. So, but I wish I have a magic spear here. I guess trying to run past was a bad idea, huh? It gave me the same page result as entering the wagon in the first place. Should have taken the right path. I might as well cue the music up right now, because I'm presuming I'm going to die here. Come along, game. Yes, yes. I love this music. It's awesome music. Let's hear it. Yep. Fucking hate this loop. I actually have goosebumps right now. Fucking thing pisses me off. I don't have a magic spear. It may be as some consolation to learn that your death was mercifully swift. The Helghast's fingers tore and burnt their way through your throat within a few seconds. But now the seal of Hammerdal is on its way to the Dark Lord city of Helghast. Your life and your quest come to a tragic end here. I don't suppose the Dark Lord Blade would have worked on this fucker, huh? Guess not. Let's turn the volume up on that, because I hate my life. Yes, yes, let me wallow my misery for a little bit here. God damn it. Alright, that's enough. Fuck you. It's a long book and it's filled with pain. For giggles! For giggles! For giggles! We go back here. We're not gonna do it all over. Just wanna go back. Let's go back for a while here. Let's go back to, you know. Hey! I have the necessary documents. The man pulls ahead in bell robe and suddenly 4 armed guards burst into the room. These documents are forgeries. These documents are forgeries. No doubt you are a spy or worse, perhaps. No matter, you'll soon find out how we deal with criminals in port backs. Take him away. Before you can explain, you are seized by both arms and marched away to the city go. All your equipment is confiscated, including all special items and weapons, and you are thrown into a cell full of evil-looking villains. You notice that several of these ruffians bear the strange tattoo of a serpent on their left wrists, the sign of Vonatar the traitor. By the time the guards have examined your possessions and realized your true identity, you've been strangled to death by the wizard's evil agents. Good. I made the right choice. Might have spent 6 gold crowns, but I definitely made the right choice there. Alright. That makes me happy to know that I did that. I don't like to go back and check, but in this situation, I thought it was worthwhile. So I wouldn't have made the choice otherwise. Okay. Next time, well, I guess I speed played through the first book again. But I speed play through this book again. Till I get to a point, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. God damn it. Let's look at the face of my killer again. That's not the face of my... That's the... There we go. You know, on one hand it does look absurd because it looks like the head is too big. On the other hand, all of my nope again. Boy. Damn it! Motherfucker! I thought it would work! If I run past, maybe he won't notice me. In retrospect, that seems like a dumb decision. But, I mean, most decisions seem dumb in retrospect if, you know, they lead to your death. Oh, if I could turn back time. Fuck you. I'll see you all later.